our NFL injury update extraordinaire. Dr. Jesse Morse has to be fluid on the show because he's obviously PRP injecting people out there. So let's get him in. Let's get him in with Big Matt. Jesse, Matt, I think you met Matt. Hey, we're gonna no Diddy tag team you today. So let's go. Let's get right into it. Matt, you have some questions as well. Matt, you got some questions. Ask them away. But because Matt, Dr. Jesse Morse, I don't know if you know, but Matt is a guy that's kind of been on the other side of the NFL, 7-year NFL vet who we've had a lot of NFL guys on this show with Eric Weddle and Matt and Shaun King and Tank Johnson. And everybody's like, the NFL after retirement policy is a joke, and these guys get no help at all. And I know you dabble into that, Doc. So Matt might have some questions for you during this segment, and I don't know how long we got you, Doc. A few minutes, I hope. Thanks for popping in on a Friday before the weekend. Go away. Give us your takeaways on what's going on injury wise. And the first guy I got to ask you about is CMC. Is he a healthy go for the Niners? And then whatever Matt has for you.
He is a go. The term healthy is relative. I would probably say he's 85%, somewhere around there. Obviously, we don't know specifics. I think they're going to be smart with his usage. Mason is healthy. Guendo is obviously healthy. I think they'll probably use all three. They're going to preserve his bullets, in my opinion. Not super high risk for injury per se. It's more of a chronic injury, but he's only got so much wear and tear in his tires left. So I think they'll start him and be smart with them in week 10 and go forward.
Matt, if you could read the private chat, you're in the private chat, Matt. All right, so CMC's a go. So all you guys out there on the fantasy world of DFS, I'm sure you'll pick him heavy. I'm going to stay away from CMC just because of what you said. I don't know if he pops up one injury away from making a cut and he's out for the rest of the game. I'll stay away from him on the DFS side.
Yeah, shouldn't he just hang it at this point for the year?
I think a combination of pride and money and records is going to probably prevent him from doing that.
He's getting paid regardless, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably like similar to the Tua situation. He doesn't want to end it on this note. He wants it, on his own thing. But
do you think he's close to the end?
I'm sorry?
You think Christian McCaffrey is close to the end of his career?
I think he's closer to the end than the beginning. I think he's probably got 2 years.
Sure.
2 years, maybe 3 if not many people can run to 37, 38 like Peterson did, and he probably did it more so for money than he did for because he was fine.
Bankrupt.
But I mean, most guys don't make it past 30, 31. What's happened to Dalvin? What's happened to Zeke? Like, sometimes you'd rather go out on top than look like a shell of your former self.
Yeah, not too many Frank Gore's floating around, Matt, huh? Frank Gore was one of those anomalies, I guess.
Yeah, I know.
Hey,
he's a good dude.
Anything from last night's game, injury-wise? I saw Burrow, who's having maybe his best year. He'll just go unwanted because his team's not very good. He started messing with the left hand last night and the wrist. I don't know if you saw that or what. Chase is just a freaking monster. He got hit pretty hard in the left kind of lower rib area. Late call, no call.
And they didn't call it. It was and you look at his face, it's like nothing ever happened while he's in the zone, but you could see he was hurting when he was on the sidelines. The hand stuff, there was an 80% chance everything was fine. There was a 20% chance this would have lingered. He's in the 80%. Go figure. And he continues to. That pass to Chase in the corner of the end zone over 2 defenders, but low enough for him to catch it was freaking bananas.
Great ball. Yeah, great ball.
I don't know. I don't really have any negative.
So he'll be all right. So what about the Kyle Hamilton injury on defense for the Ravens?
Yeah. So this was a fluky injury. He caught. It looked like his cleat caught the edge of another player's heel, which caused him to kind of like awkwardly land. So it could have been a little bit of a abnormal movement of a high ankle, and then you saw him trying to go off the field, and he just couldn't put a lot of weight on it. Best case scenario, he's back. It sounds like he avoided serious injury. That usually means fracture or severe high ankle, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be fluid and be able to do all the crazy things he needs to do with that ankle. And usually these don't tape very well. They last 10 minutes or something like that. And then
what about the tackle? Hey, Matt, I forgot his name. What's the tackle that didn't play last night for Burrow?
Brown?
Yeah.
Brown, yeah.
Orlando, yeah.
I popped up and I didn't see what it was because of, what the injury was.
I don't know, Matt. I don't know if you know. He missed the whole game. He didn't play.
I saw that, but there's so many injuries. It's hard to monitor all of them. It's crazy.
Where are we at with T. Higgins? Burrow has no T. Higgins. He goes for 500 yards almost without T. Higgins and a tight end that we never even heard of.
What a game, man. That game rocked tonight, bro.
That was a great game.
Hey, Matt, I don't know if you know about T. Higgins' situation. Is this more of a I'm fucking telling you I want traded, or is he hurt, Doc?
So I mean, he's hurt. He suffered a quad strain on a Friday. So it's only been like 10 days, 15 days. So quad strains are like hamstring strains. They are notorious for slow healing and re-injury. Because every time you run, you have to flex that quad to run. So you're stretching that muscle that you strained. So even if it's grade 1, they're notorious for slow healing. And the timing of the games, he suffered it on a Friday. He had a Sunday game, obviously missed that. He had a week, missed that. So he was a week and 2 days out. And now he has a Thursday game. It was just a weird timing of the events. And my suspicion is, unless it was a bad grade 2, he'll be back for next week. He's got another 10 days basically to heal. The problem with his argument of, hey, you need me, is they didn't really need him. It wasn't the offense the problem, So could they use him? Yes, he would have been, helpful. But to say, oh, the team sucks without me, is probably not a relevant statement. So he's a talented receiver nonetheless. That's not the point. Yeah. But if if Chase wasn't in that game and Higgins was, I don't think it would have been the same outcome.
Yeah, I got a question. Do you think we could send all the refs to you that are blind as fuck and can't see? Do you think you could help them? Because it's 2 weeks in a row that the face mask has been grabbed right in front of these
face masks. They've had a couple bad.
Hey, Matt, I got to ask you, Matt. Not only is it the face mask issue, Matt, aren't the quarterbacks' heads like the number one discussion of an offense?
Oh yeah, both of them got hit in the head multiple times.
Yeah, a couple.
Well, they were like they do phantom calls. So there's a phantom holding penalty, and then they're like, "Oh, we fucked that up," and then the next play there's a defensive holding. And they're like, oh, okay, we even that out. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? It makes betting on the games impossible.
You're right. It's fucked up. Hey, any other injuries, Doc, before you get out of here?
So be aware of? There's a couple big ones that we should focus on. Nico Collins, everyone was saying, hey, he's healthy, he's running, DNP times 2. So they're being extra careful with him. I don't know. But unless he practices today, this would be a weird way to come back into returning. I mean, he just missed a month. And then you don't practice on Wednesday or Thursday at all, despite, tweets saying, hey, he's healthy, he's running at top speed. Well, show me on the field, right? Yeah. I don't, you can tweet whatever you want, but can he do it on the field and practice? So we'll see how that plays out. Right now, I'm assuming he's out. He's just not ready, which is okay. But everybody's like, "Oh, he'll be back in a month." Yeah. Mike Evans will probably be back next week. Obviously, very similar situation. Trevor Lawrence has a left non-throwing shoulder injury that's kind of weird. The way they're describing it isn't consistent with what he did on the practice field yesterday or whatever day it was. He looked pretty good. He didn't look like anything was wrong. My suspicion is an AC sprain, usually a dislocated shoulder. They're not really able to do a whole lot, and they have a brace on to prevent it, and he didn't have a brace on. He's the type of player that will play through this. It won't impact him a whole lot. Maybe we see Mac Jones. Maybe they just give him a break and say, you know what, we need to make sure, that season's done anyway, pretty much. So that one would be interesting. Most of the running backs are good. We will see likely the debut of Jonathan Brooks, the stud running back that tore his ACL in college. He's going to make his debut in Germany, which is kind of interesting. Everybody assumed he was going to become the bell cow. Not so fast. A massive extension for Chuba Hubbard yesterday, so obviously he's not going anywhere, and they already pay Miles Sanders like 20-something million too. So we will see Andy Dalton sit again. Bryce Young is playing. As far as some of the wide receivers, Debo will be back. He's got a wrist. He's got a rib, and then he's also got a post pneumonia, so a little banged up. We will see an interesting injury. Jawan Jennings is dealing with something called a psoas strain. So there's a muscle on each side of the body. It starts at the hip, it runs through the pelvis, and actually attaches to the spinal cord, to the vertebrae. And what it does is it can pull the hip forward, it can pull the hip up, it can pull the ribs down. I had one yesterday actually, and one on each side. So he strained that, and it's been like 3 weeks or something like that. So it's been a long time. I think he'll probably get back in the game. So, obviously without Ayuk, but they should be healthy for a first time in a while.
Before you leave, I got to ask you and Matt both, because Matt played and knows 7 years of what's happening here. Dak Prescott now, they're talking maybe done for the year with a hamstring. Yeah. But Matt, I don't know if you saw, his hand looked like it possibly was broken. Are they hiding the hand and saying that it's the hamstring so that they don't have to divulge that?
Yes.
Matt? What do you say, Matt?
Yes.
So they do that, Matt. Tell the people, Matt.
They do that shit. They're cheating their ass.
Yeah, they have not commented on the hand at all. Here's where I'm at with this hamstring. He suffered a very unique location for a hamstring injury. It's funny because I actually injected one yesterday. I was like, wow, this is weird.
I got to get you to check Matt.
This is not a traditional hamstring. Let me grab my model. It's right here. One second.
I got to get you. Matt, I got to get you on some PRP, Matt. We got to go see Doc in Miami, Matt. We can go to Miami to get injected with some PRP. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Doc, you're showing. That's Matt. That's fucking Matt.
He's a look. He's had better days. So you see this bone right
looks
here?
Looks like my back.
The back of the hip. So see this bone right here? This is where the hamstring attaches to. They're saying he partially tore the hamstring off this bone.
Oh, shit.
God damn.
You don't do that unless you're a full sprinter or you're a kid, a pediatric, because that tendon is weak, but it's not that weak. And the bone is stronger than the tendon. And the hamstring usually strains somewhere kind of mid-leg. So they're saying it partially tore off this, which is basically like your butt. Like it's not. This is what we saw from Aaron Jones a couple of weeks ago when they said, "Hey, this is a hip. This is a hip. No, this is a hamstring." That his was like a mild tweak to it. They said Dak, who's never had a hamstring injury on his record that I could find, dating back to college, went from a minor hamstring to this was a bad hamstring. So the data for this is 6 to 10 weeks. This is not a small. I mean. And if you have surgery, this could easily be season-ending without question. Just the timing of it. So, unfortunate timing. They may not say anything about his hand, but I have a video. I tweeted it on maybe Sunday or something that showed his hand was super swollen. So, I'm curious to see if they're hiding the hand despite the hamstring. And just saying, the hamstring is going to end the season, and they don't say anything about his hand, and then we hear about it in February or something random.
I don't know what happened. I think
Dak is beat up.
I think I think Biden just kicked me out of my power off. It was crazy.
You kicked off for a second, and then you came back, but it said it was audio only for a second.
Yeah, hey, they can't kick you off anymore.
No, they can't. It's over. Hey, Doc, man, I appreciate you hopping on a Friday, giving everybody the updates, man. Enjoy the weekend out there, and I'll be on my yacht tomorrow, so you want to come out anytime.
Poor thing.
I know, my bad. But it's supposed to be 80 tomorrow on the water.
82 and sunny right now in Miami.
Oh, and Matt's out there in a hoodie dealing with snow. God damn it.
Bro, we're not just dealing with snow. We're about to get the biggest snowstorm in the last 30 years.
Where are you at?
No way.
Colorado?
In Denver.
Colorado.
There's a 100% chance of snow for the next 18 hours.
God
cool
damn.
city, cool state, but they get their crazy weather.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, Doc, I appreciate you, Doc.